The stars shimmered silently across the void, far beyond the Milky Way, peaceful, distant, unaware of the fates about to unfold beneath their twinkling rain. Goku sat cross-legged atop a small rocky formation, floating in deep space, completely still. Around him swirled the blue-tinged aura of calm energy, mastered after his long months on Yardrat. The Yardrats had taught him how to manipulate his ki beyond its combat potential, how to feel the flow of time, space, life. He could feel distant planets breathe. He could sense dying stars. He had learned not just instant transmission, but spiritual patience. It was a quiet he rarely allowed himself to have. And then, he felt something wrong. A sharp, cold ripple. It wasn't Kai. It was something else. A pull, like gravity laced with fear. The energy wasn't alive like his own, more like a cold burn across space itself. He opened his eyes. A pale blue planet floated peacefully not far from the ship he'd passed earlier, and orbiting it, impossibly massive, ominous, mechanical, was a metal moon. No, not a moon. A weapon. The Death Star. At that very moment, its superlaser began to charge, green light slicing the void like an executioner's blade. Goku didn't understand the politics of this galaxy. He didn't know what empire ruled or what rebellion fought back. All he knew was this: millions of voices were about to be silenced. He raised 2 fingers to his forehead and vanished. Alderaan's surface was quiet, its people unaware of the terror hanging in orbit. Then, just as the laser was fired, Goku appeared in midair above the palace spires. Without hesitation, his arms drew back, blue energy coalescing between his palms. Ka, me. The Death Star's green beam sliced toward the planet, but before it could land, Goku aimed straight at the core of the weapon, reading the energy channeling through it. Ha, me. Time seemed to slow, as the energy sphere grew into a swirling star between his hands. Below him, civilians gazed skyward at the glowing warrior in orange and blue, their breath caught in their throats. The blast tore across the sky like a comet. The Kamehameha collided with the Death Star's superlaser mid-fire. The feedback imploded into a vortex of energy, twisting the Death Star's beam back inward. The entire station shuddered, hull plates screaming under strain, internal systems rupturing. Inside, alarms blared. Stormtroopers stumbled. Darth Vader stood motionless on the bridge, one gloved hand gripping the railing as the entire room shook. He hadn't sensed the attack. He hadn't foreseen this. All he felt was power. Raw, ancient, righteous. Leia, locked in her holding cell, felt the vibration, the sudden cessation of the weapon's charge. She stared out of the tiny viewport and saw the green energy bloom, and then vanish. A second later, the Death Star exploded. Goku hovered above Alderaan, his breathing calm but his body drained. He had poured everything into that shot. He wasn't even sure if it had worked, until he saw the fireball ignite in the distance. His eyes widened. "Whoa, I didn't mean to blow it up," he muttered, rubbing the back of his neck. Down below, the people of Alderaan cheered. From the chaos, escape ships launched. Among them, Princess Leia, carried to safety by a small rebel ship that had been waiting for an extraction signal she never got. And across the stars from the fragments of the destroyed battle station, a single black form emerged, charred, wounded, but alive. Darth Vader. Floating in the wreckage, he clenched his fist. Who did this? He didn't have to wait long for his answer. Goku sensed the spike in his aura, felt the darkness compressing around the survivor. Curious, concerned, and still a little confused, he teleported again. The two met in open space, standing on a chunk of debris. Silence reigned between them, save for Vader's rasping breath. You destroyed my station, Vader hissed, lightsaber igniting in his hand. Goku tilted his head. Station? You mean that big moon thing with the laser? Vader raised his blade. That moon was order. You've made chaos. Goku cracked his knuckles. I've made sure those people down there still have a planet. If you want to fight over that. And just like that, he powered up. The space around him vibrated with golden energy. His hair turned gold. His aura screamed across the void. Vader's breath caught, but he swung anyway. And the battle began. The silence of space was broken only by Vader's deep mechanical breathing and the roar of Goku's blazing golden aura. Fragments of twisted metal drifted around them, glowing orange from the Death Star's explosion. Between those scraps of war, two titans prepared to clash. Goku raised his fists in a calm stance, golden hair glowing, eyes steady. You've got power, he said, reading Vader's aura. But it's cold, heavy, feels like it's weighing you down. Vader didn't respond. His crimson lightsaber ignited with a snap hiss, and in an instant he lunged forward with terrifying speed, slicing in a wide arc aimed for Goku's side. But Goku vanished, instant transmission flickering his body a few feet away. Just enough to make Vader stumble slightly through open air. You'll have to be faster than that, Goku called. Vader responded with a wave of his hand. Invisible tendrils of the Force snapped into place, gripping Goku's body like steel cables. Vader clenched his fist in the air. Goku grimaced as his muscles seized. The Force tried to crush him from the inside out. I've destroyed Jedi far stronger than you, Vader growled. Whatever you are, whatever magic this is, it ends now. But then Goku smirked. His aura began to shimmer violently, flaring gold and white. With a cry, he burst free from the Force grip, vaporizing the tether around him. Vader stumbled back, shocked. You're strong, Goku said, brushing dust off his shoulder. But you don't use that power to help anyone, do you? Vader charged again, this time spinning his blade mid-air, deflecting tiny shards of shrapnel to disorient Goku. His lightsaber came down in a furious arc, only to be caught between Goku's bare palms. You're holding back your heart, Goku said, staring into the dark lenses of the helmet. Why? Vader didn't answer. He pushed forward with both hands, driving his saber harder, until Goku twisted and hurled him backward with a shockwave. Vader slammed into a section of the broken superlaser shaft, cracking it with the force of impact. You destroyed everything I've built, Vader roared. No, Goku said, stepping forward. You were about to destroy a planet full of people. I stopped that. Vader lunged again, but Goku sidestepped with ease and chopped him in the back. The Sith Lord stumbled, then twisted to catch Goku with a backhanded swing, but the Saiyan vanished again. Appearing behind Vader, Goku spoke softly. You're not beyond saving. A moment of silence. Vader paused, blade trembling in his grip. I feel the conflict in you, Goku said. You're not like the monsters I've fought before. You're trapped, fighting yourself. Vader turned slowly. The glow of Goku's Super Saiyan form reflected off his mask. You know nothing of my suffering. I know what it means to lose people, Goku said, voice low. To be controlled by rage. To lose yourself in power. I was there once too, but someone pulled me back. Vader stood still, breathing deep. Then he slashed. The saber passed clean through empty space. Goku was gone again. He reappeared above, charging energy. I don't want to kill you, Goku shouted, but I will end this fight. With a roar, he unleashed a burst of pure ki, blinding white. Vader raised his hand instinctively to shield his mask, but it was too late. He was launched backwards, spiraling through debris, armor sparking. cape torn. When the light faded, Vader floated, motionless. Goku hovered above him, arms crossed, breathing heavily. "Still alive," he muttered. "Good." Vader twitched. The Sith Lord opened his hand and called a saber to him again, but this time he didn't ignite it. "Why?" he rasped. "Why let me live?" Goku floated down and offered a hand. "Because you can change." Vader stared. No one had offered him a hand in decades. "You don't need to follow him," Goku said. "That Emperor guy. You're stronger than that. You've got something in you. I can tell." Vader looked at the Golden Warrior. For a long time he said nothing. Then, slowly, he lowered the saber. Back on Alderaan, Leia watched the distant glow fade. The skies cleared, her people were safe. And high above, two figures floated down from orbit, one in golden light, the other cloaked in darkness. She stepped forward as Goku landed. Her eyes went wide. "You..." "I stopped the weapon," Goku said with a grin. Vader stepped beside him. Leia tensed. Goku held out a hand. "He's not the same. Not anymore." Leia didn't move, but she didn't raise her blaster either. The battle was over. But the galaxy had changed. Alderaan's sun was rising over scorched clouds. The capital had survived annihilation but bore the scars of near doom, fractures across its cities, fear in its people. Yet word spread like wildfire. A warrior descended from the stars, glowing like a sun, had saved them. The Golden Guardian. Inside the palace infirmary, Goku sat on a bench, legs swinging like a kid waiting for dinner. He'd been given a loose robe and some strange herbal drink that smelled like space cabbage. Not that it mattered. He was just hungry. Across from him stood Princess Leia, arms crossed, cautious but curious. Behind her, flanking the door, were Luke Skywalker, Ben Kenobi, and Han Solo, all recently arrived after receiving Leia's distress call. "So, you're telling me," Han said, pointing at Goku, "this guy blew up a space station the size of a small moon by screaming real loud." Goku blinked. It wasn't just screaming, it was a Kamehameha. "That's not a real word." Ben Kenobi stepped forward, eyes fixed on Goku. He could feel it, the strange radiant power rippling off of him. It wasn't the Force, but it wasn't separate from it either. It felt harmonious, natural, ancient. "Your energy," Ben said slowly. "It doesn't obey our rules. It's not the Force, but it listens to you like it's alive." "Ki," Goku said with a smile. "It's what I've trained with since I was a kid. Kinda like the Force, I guess." Luke tilted his head. "Can you teach it?" Goku chuckled. "Maybe. But first I gotta ask, what's a Death Star? And who's this Darth Vader guy? He was strong, but not, like, super strong." The group exchanged glances. Leia sighed. "Come with us. There's a lot you need to know." Hours later. "I need to be at Charlottetown." In the archives beneath Alderaan Palace, a holomap hovered in the air, displaying star systems in chaos. The Empire's reach was wide: Tatooine, Hoth, Naboo, systems under heel, others destroyed. Ben Kenobi moved to the console, his hand shaking ever so slightly as he brought up files of the Jedi Purge. Faces, names, lightsabers extinguished. "Order 66, he said grimly, the moment everything changed. Luke leaned against the table. "Our order, my father's, was wiped out. Only a few of us survived. The rest..." "Gone," Leia finished. Goku listened, eyes narrowed. This wasn't just about strength. This was evil. Deep, systemic, ancient evil. And now, they were all looking at him. Ben turned to him. "You possess a strength beyond anything we've seen. With your help, we may be able to restore what we lost. Or at least punch whoever's running the Empire in the face," Han muttered. I'm in, Goku said without hesitation. Helping people is what I do. Just point me at the bad guys. Leia stepped forward. Then there's one more thing you need to know. We've been picking up energy readings, familiar to yours. Faint, but dangerous. She pressed a button on the console. A hologram flared up, showing Frieza, restored, alive, surrounded by Cold Force troopers on a ship orbiting Earth. Hey, that guy. Goku stood. I killed him. Apparently not, Leia said. Ben frowned. This Frieza. His energy feels like a black hole. Poisoned, if he's working with remnants of the Sith. Then we need to move fast, Luke added, before Earth becomes the Empire's next target. Goku raised 2 fingers to his forehead. I can get us there, but it'll be a tight ride. Ben turned to him. How does it work? Think really hard, Goku said. Lock onto someone's energy. Luke nodded. Then take us to your people. Earth West City outskirts. Poof. With a flash of energy, Goku, Luke, Ben, Leia, and Han appeared just outside Capsule Corp. Birds scattered, grass swayed in the sudden pulse of power. Okay, Han said, wobbling. No more teleporting for me, ever. Vegeta was the first to emerge, scouter flashing. What in the hell, Kakarot? Vegeta, long story. Aliens, space magic. Gotta fight Frieza again. Of course we do. Bulma stepped out behind him, eyes wide. Is that a lightsaber? Goku smiled. Ben Kenobi stepped forward, extending a hand. Name's Ben. I think we have some work to do. Beneath the glow of West City's pink sky, worlds began to merge. It had been 3 days since Goku returned to Earth. 3 days since he brought Jedi, smugglers, and a princess to Capsule Corp. And in that time, everything had changed. What began as 2 galaxies divided by physics and fiction was now becoming something more. Ben Kenobi stood at the edge of a Capsule Corp training facility, watching Vegeta and Luke Skywalker trade blows. Luke, his lightsaber ignited, swung with surprising precision, but Vegeta danced around it effortlessly. They weren't trying to kill each other, not yet. This was about understanding, testing limits. Nearby, Goku sparred with Han Solo. Sort of. Han had tried to fire his blaster at Goku in a tactical demonstration, but now sat in the grass, arms crossed, pouting. You guys don't play fair, he grumbled. Goku grinned upside down midair, balancing on one finger. You shoot lasers. I shoot lasers. We're not so different. Leia stood beside Bulma at the console inside the lab, poring over recent galactic scans. Bulma had managed to patch into New Republic networks thanks to the Jedi's ship tech. Every time they ran a scan, something worse popped up, and the worst of all had just appeared. He's moving, Bulma muttered, pointing at the blinking signal. That's Frieza's ship all right, but he's not heading for Namek, or any old planet. Leia's eyes narrowed. He's heading for Coruscant. Ben, overhearing, turned sharply. The heart of the old Republic. The Jedi Temple still sits there in ruins. Guess he wants a trophy, Han said, or something buried beneath it. No, Ben murmured. It's not about conquest, not for Frieza. It's about power. There's something still alive beneath that temple. A presence. Goku floated down from the air. A new bad guy. Ben hesitated, then spoke. I feared this. I thought the dark side was dormant after Palpatine's death. But now, I feel it rising again. He looked directly at Goku. There is another. A shadow of the Emperor. A being. Worse than Vader. Deep beneath Coruscant, in the shattered ruins of the Jedi Temple, 2 forces stood together for the first time. Frieza, glimmering in golden form, floated above a cracked Jedi Council chamber. examining the shattered statues of ancient masters. Around him, mutated Cold Force troopers and Sith acolytes loomed in the shadows. Machines chattered, red-lit computers hummed. Before him stood a throne carved from obsidian, and on that throne sat Darth Sidious. Not quite alive, not quite dead, cloned, reborn, twisted. "Frieza," he croaked, face pale, and skin like melting wax. "You are my instrument." Frieza sneered. "I'm nobody's tool. We're partners, remember? You give me Earth, I give you the Jedi Temple, and whatever pitiful secrets lie beneath. Earth is yours to burn," the Emperor whispered, dark eyes glowing faintly. "But the Saiyan must die." Frieza smiled coldly. "Don't worry, I've waited long enough for revenge." As the news reached the team, the atmosphere turned grim. Goku cracked his knuckles. "So we fight both?" "Frieza and Palpatine together," Ben said. "That's unthinkable. Even Vader." "I've already contacted him," Leia interrupted. "Vader's listening. He's changed." Luke lowered his eyes. "He wants to help." Bulma turned to them. "Then we go now. If they dig into that temple, there's no telling what Force-imbued weapons or Sith relics they might activate." Vegeta stood. "Then what are we waiting for?" Goku, Vegeta, Luke, Leia, Ben, and Han arrived aboard a stolen Imperial shuttle, masked by Sith codes. They descended through thick clouds of ash and lightning. Coruscant was darker now. The skyline glowed dim with fire and storm. They landed on the outskirts of the Jedi Temple, now corrupted, covered in red banners, Sith spires, and golden Cold Force sigils. Frieza waited for them on the highest tower, arms folded. "I've been expecting you," he said, "and I brought a friend." A burst of electricity hit the landing pad. Sith troopers surrounded them, and beside Frieza, Palpatine rose from the shadows, hooked into a dark life support frame, connected to the corrupted Kyber core that had once powered the Jedi Temple. "You cannot stop destiny," he hissed. Vegeta stepped forward. "We don't need destiny. We have fists." The battle began. Lightsabers ignited. Energy blasts lit up the sky. Leia and Han took cover behind fallen pillars, exchanging fire with Sith snipers. Luke clashed blades with acolytes on the temple stairs. Ben Kenobi squared off against a rejuvenated clone of Darth Sidious. But the true battle happened high above. Goku versus Frieza, round 2. Golden forms collided, shaking the sky. Goku had learned much, new techniques, faster movement, greater control. But Frieza had absorbed Sith energy. His power now warped the Force. Lightning poured from his fists. He moved like a demon through a hurricane. "You can't win," Frieza roared. "Not this time." "I'm not alone," Goku said, smiling. "And I never was." With a scream, he transformed again. Super Saiyan Blue. Frieza's eyes widened. Impossible. And then, like lightning cracking heaven open, they collided. The storm over Coruscant had become a black hurricane. Crimson lightning split the skies, twisted by the corrupted Force energy radiating from the Jedi Temple's heart. The temple was now barely recognizable. Its statues broken, its once pristine halls overrun with Sith banners and technological growths like tumors. The Force screamed in anguish. Above it all, the battle raged. Goku, now in Super Saiyan Blue, clashed with Frieza, whose body pulsed with unnatural red electricity, the consequence of siphoning energy from the corrupted Kyber core at the temple's center. Each blow between them shattered the air. Shockwaves flattened towers. Goku's energy roared like a living sun. But Frieza was different now. Wrong. He moved like a glitch in reality, augmented by powers not his own. "You've lost yourself, Frieza," Goku shouted, blocking a bolt of red lightning with a ki shield. "You're not even fighting for you anymore." Frieza's face twisted. "I am power. I am death. I don't need your lectures." He extended his hand, firing a stream of red force lightning, laced with dark matter. It hit Goku square in the chest, hurling him through a tower and deep into the heart of the temple. Rubble collapsed behind him. Ben Kenobi, wounded, faced down a cloned Darth Sidious, now more monster than man. The corrupted Emperor floated mid-air in a metallic harness, powered by Sith relics. Tentacles of dark side energy writhing from his fingers. "You cannot kill what is eternal," the Emperor spat, eyes glowing like dying stars. Ben stood firm, saber ignited. "Even the darkest night ends, and I'm not alone." From the smoke stepped Luke Skywalker, his face calm. "We've beaten you before. We'll do it again." With a flash, father and son lunged, blue sabers crossing with red lightning. The battle echoed through the ruined temple like echoes of war long past. Frieza hovered in the air above the collapsing temple, panting. "Where is your spirit now, Saiyan?" he hissed. Then a voice. "You forgot something." A pillar of blue energy erupted from the debris. Goku burst forth faster than ever before. But this time, he wasn't alone. Darth Vader floated beside him, armor cracked, cape torn, mask flickering, but eyes glowing with clarity. "Palpatine is mine," Vader growled, "and so is my redemption." Frieza stared in disbelief. "You, traitor." Goku smirked. "Let's do this together." They flew as one. Goku clashed again with Frieza, this time pressing him harder. Vader, meanwhile, descended into the temple with one purpose: kill the Emperor. The duel between Ben, Luke, and Sidious raged in the inner sanctum, the force crackling like a living storm. The Emperor was too powerful, too twisted by dark resurrection and Kyber corruption. He grabbed both Jedi mid-air, slamming them into opposite walls. "Your efforts are meaningless." He raised his hand to strike, but a red blade pierced through his back. Vader. "I was never yours," Vader rasped. Sidious turned wide-eyed. "You..." "I am Anakin Skywalker." He plunged the saber deeper as Goku kamehameha'd the collapsing ceiling above, light pouring down into the temple. It cascaded over Vader and the Emperor, and then a second beam of light. The Force awakening inside Luke. The Kyber core overloaded. The explosion tore through the sky. The corrupted Kyber core shattered. Sith relics melted into ash. Frieza's power source gone. Goku landed a final punch, knocking him unconscious into the crater below. Luke stumbled to his feet. Ben helped him up. They looked to Vader, breathing heavily, mask half broken, but alive. "I didn't think I'd see you again," Ben whispered. "You did," Vader said, "in your heart." He turned to Goku, walking slowly through the ash. "You gave me a second chance." Goku scratched the back of his head, grinning. "Hey, I've done worse. You just needed the right fight." Vader chuckled. And then, silence. The galaxy was safe. Epilogue. Echoes in the stars. The Jedi Temple was rebuilt months later. Leia and Han returned to the Alliance. Luke began training the next generation of Jedi. Goku and Vegeta, after one last sparring match under twin suns, returned to Earth. The universes weren't meant to stay linked, but something had changed. They could feel it. Vader, now Anakin, vanished from the public eye. A nomad, a guardian, and Frieza, imprisoned in a force-sealed vault beneath Yavin. but the legends remained. They spoke of a warrior from another world, golden and fierce, who punched a Sith Lord through a star and made peace possible again